Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the WITS Postgraduate Welcome Day, Session 1, where we will be having faculty information sessions. I am Mawile Mkiza, and before we proceed or go far, I'd like to request that everyone please mute themselves, and where possible, please also turn off your video so that we can minimize the bandwidth that's being used. This will make provision for us to proceed as smoothly as possible. And right now, I'd like to introduce the Dean of Humanities, Professor Garth Stevens. I believe that it's only correct to read to you his biography, and this is one that I found off SciSSA. It says that Garth Stevens is a professor and clinical psychologist in the Department of Psychology in the School of Human and Community Development at the University of the Witwatersrand in South Africa. His research interests include focus on race, racism, and related social asymmetries, racism and knowledge production, critical psychology, ideology, power and discourse, violence and its prevention, historical collective trauma and memory, applied psychoanalytic theorizing of contemporary social issues, and masculinity, gender, and violence. He has published widely in these areas, both nationally and internationally, including co-editorship of A Race Against Time, Psychology and Challenges in Deracializing in South Africa, UNISA Press 2006, and Race, Memory, and the Apartheid Archive, towards the transformative psychosocial praxis, Palgrave Macmillan 2013. He is also the co-lead researcher on the Apartheid Archive Project, which is an international research initiative that aims to examine the nature of the experiences of racism of South Africans under the old apartheid order and their continuing effects on individual and group functioning in contemporary South Africa. He is also the co-lead researcher on the Violent States of Violence project, which aims to re-engage the theorization of violence in the contemporary world. At present, he holds a B rating from the NRF, is a member of the Academy of Science of South Africa, serves as the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities at the University of the Witwatersrand, and is President of Psychology Society of South Africa. And with that being said, I would like to welcome the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, my apologies, Professor Garth Stevens. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm glad that you could introduce the dean so everybody can get to know who the dean is. Unfortunately, he couldn't come this morning, but he asked me to represent him and to provide the information needed, interact with our new students. And I'm going to introduce myself briefly so that you know who I am. My name is Lorena Núñez Carrasco. I am Assistant Dean for Postgraduate Affairs, so I'm very involved at the faculty, and I'm based in sociology, the School of Social Sciences. So I'm not going to talk about my research profile. I'm here to share with you the information that you need and welcome you to the faculty. Ovile, if you could inform me, what will be the format? I introduce the school, present the information on the faculties and schools in general, and then there will be questions and answers.
Okay, so the format that we're going to take is that you're going to speak on the faculty and the schools that are within the faculty. Thereafter, we will go into breakaway rooms where the various schools will talk to their students directly, and that's where we'll have the question and answer session.
And how long is the presentation now to address the students?
You have 15 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, somebody said, so sad that the dean is not here to address us. I know, but he couldn't. Something sometimes comes up, you're not able to come. But let me tell you that he is absolutely approachable. He is a wonderful professional, a very human, a very rich human being, and very approachable. So you won't have any problem to relate to him as much as you need. And if there is any question that you have that for you that you would be interested that he answers directly, we will arrange that. But let me just start by saying that we're very happy to have you here. This year promises to be a different year where we're going to go back face to face. The two previous years have been difficult for everybody. We're very excited that we will be together on campus, and we welcome you again in situ at WITS into this Faculty of Humanity, which is a leading center of the study and research in the arts, social sciences, human and community development, education, and literature, language, and media in South Africa and in Africa. It's a very diverse school, it's a rich school, and we try by all means to connect all the disciplines and to grow in the richness and diversity of these disciplines, and to provide the students with all possible venues to benefit from these different disciplines that are brought together. Indeed, this faculty is a leading center of study and research in all these disciplines: arts, social sciences, human and community development, education and literature, language, media, and in the whole continent. Because, as you know, and these rankings come every year, there are more than one ranking, but WITS appears as the top university or within the two top universities in South Africa and in Africa. And within this university, you are based now in a faculty that is taking also a very important and leading role in the continent and in the country, of course. It has an extensive range of programs and at undergraduate and postgraduate levels that offer the students the opportunity to follow careers in specific professions or to pursue more theoretical and research-oriented studies. So we are offering also a field of training that will suit your interest if you want to become a professional which will integrate the labor market, very equipped, or an academic that can produce knowledge within your own discipline. We propose a form of education that incentivizes critical analytical skills. And this is something that cuts across the different range of careers in this academic space and the research institutes, which I'm also going to mention, because WITS and the Faculty of Humanity is a research-intensive institution that aims then not only training professionals, but also contributing to knowledge in various fields. And it prays itself of having a creative curriculum, and we have creative people among us with whom we interact every day to respond to the students' learning needs. And it also wants to reflect the diversity of values, learning histories, and strengths, which will enable the students to engage with cutting-edge developments in the disciplines of the humanities. The education offered at the Faculty of Humanities provides graduates with the skills and capacity for non-linear and diverging thinking, that recognizes that most of the problems currently facing South Africa and the world require not only one, but a range of interconnecting solutions and approaches which the students are able to formulate and execute. We are at at critical times. We all know that the world in itself has been affected first by the pandemic and now by a new war that may have terrible consequences for all of us. So it's particularly critical that we are aware that our knowledge can serve the world. And we are not indifferent, and we are aware that our place in the world and the need of creating a space for reflection and for contributions to society. And this has been demonstrated recently with the COVID-19 pandemic, where our scientists have been the leading voices in South Africa to guide the policies and to aim at providing a safe environment for everybody in South Africa. We, as the Faculty of Humanities, are not foreign to that, and we also have a responsibility to understand human behavior, to provide also responses to policies and relevant initiatives. The school in the faculty, there are 5 schools in the faculty, with schools of arts, with schools of education, the School of Human and Community Development, the School of Literature, Language and Media, and the School of Social Sciences, where I'm based. We are, as I said to you, all very interconnected. There are several instances in which we coordinate with the different schools. We take programs across disciplines. And one of the spaces that cuts across discipline that is important that you get to know is the Humanities Graduate Center. That is a center that houses postgraduate students in masters and PhDs. And the mission of the Humanities Graduate Center, which you will visit now, because we are launching a very active program of seminars and workshops, is provide an intellectually enriching, professional enabling and socially supportive environment for postgraduate students. So as a postgraduate student, you have a home there, and a home that is a physical space, but also an intellectual space where you can relate to others, and you'll be exposed to really relevant seminars and workshops that will support your work of an interdisciplinary nature. And we are actually also welcoming everybody for the Welcome Day on the 9th of March, that's next Wednesday, from 4 to 6. We have a program which will introduce the center and the activities. The dean will be there, so you will be able to meet him in person. And the assistant students that are there providing the space for you. We will have also planned this year to offer a writing workshop to supporting what you actually will be doing a lot now, writing papers, writing your thesis, writing for your subjects. And this being said, attending that the WITS and the Faculty of Humanities is a research intensive institution, which means that our staff, our academics, are also producing knowledge. And over the last year, the productivity measured in terms of the number of publications in scientific journals has increased 80%, which means that the presence of our staff is much more visible in the academic world. And that's one of the measures that puts WITS high up in the ranking. There are at WITS 28 NRF 8 rated researchers. This means that we have 28 researchers that have world stature, that are recognized globally. And WITS has produced, announced 16 groundbreaking new discoveries. This was in recent years. And I could continue giving you more statistics, just to say that within how we operationalize these drive for research, there are different centers associated to the faculty which take specific ambits and conduct research in these specific areas. It's the African Center for Migration and Society, the Center for Indian Studies, the Center for Research in Education and Labor, the Health Communication Research Unit, Society Work Development Institute. Sorry, somebody's microphone is open. The Center for Deaf Studies, WIT Centers for Diversity Studies, WIT Centers for Ethics, the WISER, the WIT Institute for Social and Economic Research, the History Workshop, the Portuguese Studies Center, Mexican Studies Center. There are some others that I did not mention, but the spaces for research are multiple. I will leave it here so that we can start the conversation with my promise to make the best of me to answer all your questions, to listen to you. And if there is something that we might need to ask the Dean, I'll take note of it and he'll be able to address the specific concerns. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right now, I think we've got 2 minutes before we have to head into the breakaway sessions. May I please have confirmation from the technical team that we are ready to go into our breakaway sessions? And perhaps we can take 2 questions while we wait for confirmation from the technical team. Thank you. So you can drop your question in the chat, or you can raise your hand to unmute. So Professor, there's one question here in the chat. It says, good day. I would like to know when can we expect graduations for honors class of 2021?
Okay. That's the kind of question that I'll take notes and I'll bring back the answer, because I wouldn't like to say something that then it won't happen. But and I'm also going to take the name of Mama Kubeka to answer. And Kobile, this could be a collective information for everybody at the honors, right, that would like to know. So we can inform everybody, but I'm going to take a note of this question in particular. And all the planning in general, as you know, that normally graduations were very clearly held in a particular date, have had suffered a little bit of changes due to the COVID pandemic. So there isn't anymore but we will come back to the regular dates, but to not commit myself with that question that I need to find out, and we will answer that. Is the welcoming program on the 9th of March in person? Absolutely. And we really welcome you to come to the Graduate Center on the 9th. It will be in person. We're very excited. And we're going to have a little bit of music and some refreshment to welcome everybody and to have that space of contact with each other. So we have Professor Musha who's here. Mucha, if the faculty register has the dates. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to confirm the dates with her, and then we'll communicate that.
Thank you very much. I'm still waiting for confirmation. So I see another question that has just come through.
Yes.
It's from Amy Hodgson.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. It says, for students who are completely new to WITS, where's the Postgraduate Center on campus?
Yes. Do you want to explain? Kobile?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think I need to backtrack a little. I am the secretary of the Postgraduate
Perfect.
Association.
No, okay. Yeah, let me tell the Postgraduate Center is in the Southwest Engineering Building. we should actually fight and change the name of that building and say this is the Humanities building, because the whole ground floor is for the Faculty of Humanities, right? But as you come in, you'll see the sign is on the ground floor, and that's where the faculty offices are. And then so that as you come in, you'll see the center. And please come. This is a really warm invitation for everybody to come on the 9th to meet everybody in person. Okay, I can see this other question. Is there anyone in VETS who assists with research editing, specifically before submitting final research, and any contact details? That's a very good question. And we also, all of these will serve for us to put, there is a set of resources that you'll have access to. And we have a writing center at VETS that you can contact, and you'll be assigned a tutor. And if you do it with enough time, then you can submit your draft and get comments on that. And the writing center is based at the library, at the main library on campus. Can the faculty assist with international students still expecting visas? Yes, we're working on that with all the postgraduate staff that are in charge of postgraduate issues on the different school. We're taking together initiatives to assist the students that are waiting for the visa. The 9th March welcome event is at the Graduate Center on the 9th from 4 to 6. And so there's also a problem of data that I received from BITS. It's not working right now. I would prefer if the questions are less specific in terms of these issues. I know data is an issue, but maybe things that relate to the faculty as a whole, or your program, or how we can support your work further, though data is an issue. And then our colleagues from the Students' Affairs will be able to inform that the issues of data.
My apologies, Prof. May I please address this question?
Yes.
So with regards to the data that's provided by the university, it works on specific sites. If you go onto the VITS website and look for the information regarding the data allocation, you'll see that there's a list of sites that it works on, and you also need to install the VPN, and that's when and how it will work. But yes, it is limited to certain sites. Not every site is catered for through that provision.
Thank you so much. Yes, there's always a problem with the invitation. Sometimes they don't reach everybody, particularly those who have not registered or are new, because the Graduate Center has a mailing list of those who register. So I invite you also to register at the Graduate Center. You just can pop in and ask them, or send an email, ask them to put your name down there so that you'll receive all the information. But we can also circulate the invitation now through this channel to all the postgraduate students. Obviously, also we will ask to, I'll send the invitations, and the invitation will be sent to everybody. Are there any faculty bursaries for postgraduate students? There are, and you'll be, depending on where will you be based, you'll be informed of the particular bursaries that are available. There's also the Merit Award, which you will receive if your performance is good. Then you have certainty to access the Merit Award bursary.
Okay, thank you. Those are all the questions. I have been communicating with Student Affairs, and I'm waiting for them to separate us into our breakaway rooms.
Thank you.
Hi, Buhle, I see your hand. You can unmute.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My question is, more especially if we are doing research part-time, long distance, then is it possible for you to get some contact details of people who assist with editing of the research?
You mean that you wouldn't be able to attend in person to the support that offers the writing center, right? You would like to communicate online with that. With
I would
those
like
who
to
can
communicate
assist.
online. I would like to communicate online because I'm staying very far from Gauteng.
I think should be feasible, definitely, and most likely they have been operated in that way now that when we were in lockdown. So yes, if you want to enter into the site of the writing center and request that they give you an online support and make an appointment and arrange that. Buhle, I'm sure that that's feasible.
Thank you very much for that. I'm still waiting for Student Affairs to revert to us regarding the breakaway rooms. So if people still have questions, you can drop it in the chat or raise your hand. Thank you. Okay. So
Yes.
I see a question from Michelle, which asks, how likely are you to receive confirmation of the merit award if you received provisional acceptance of the award?
How likely are you to receive confirmation of the merit award if you receive provisional acceptance of the award? Could maybe Professor Mucha help me there?
Yes, thanks, Lorena, and good morning, everyone. I am going to respond to this question not because I know much about how the processes at the financial aid office, but just to say that my assumption is that since you have received provisional acceptance of the award, it's highly likely that you're going to get it. So every week, no, not every week.
Kobile, I think Professor Mucha, I think we have a little bit of a disconnection. Maybe you can resume. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I was booted out. I'm constantly having these problems. So it's not only you as students who face these, challenges of connectivity. I'm actually sitting in my office, and yeah, I don't know how many times I've been having problems. So I was just urging the student. Sorry, I didn't get your name. Who asked that question? That please be a little bit patient. And should you not receive any confirmation, let's say in by the end of the week, I do think it's important that you write to the fees office. And so, yeah, that's all I could say about this without much concrete information, because that's a separate department in the university. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Kobile, do you want to read some other questions?
Yes, I would. So I'd actually like to start with Christo's hand, and then we'll go back to the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to come in on this with the Merit Awards. Our school has just received this week a list of the Merit Award winners, the definite Merit Award winners. So I presume all the other schools should have received or will be receiving those lists. And then I imagine the schools will be, or the postgraduate administrator in the schools will be in touch with all of the Merit Award winners so they know about it.
You can tell the school you are from, Christo?
School of Arts. That's the School of Arts.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that information. So there's a question from Kaylin Lotta, who's asking that will the postgraduate seminars be in person, and what kind of seminars will they be?
Thank you so much. Yes, there will be in person some of the seminars, such as the writing workshop, which is a workshop, but seminars also will be both online and in face-to-face. That is what we call a sort of a blended format. So we will start by offering methods seminars, methods that will support you in knowing how other researchers have tackled similar areas of interest that you may have. We have selected some broad themes, such as researching how do we study the city, how do we study households, how do we study the body, how do we study families. And we will also tailoring other new topics that relate to your areas of interests. And we will invite researchers that are currently researching in those areas to find how they have tackled, what innovations have they introduced in their own research, and what are the questions that you may find doing research in the South, from the South. So it's not a replica of the methodology handbooks that you may have, but a very very grounded way of doing methodology, and also from there posing questions that present methodology that touch on approaches, on epistemology. So it will be useful at many very levels, and you also get to know what others are doing in terms of research. This will happen, as I said, if you want to attend there at the Graduate Center, the sessions in person, you can do. If you want to connect online, you can also do. We're going to facilitate that. And we're going to soon distribute the program. Everyone will be invited. And in the second semester, we will offer also something I cannot yet anticipate, but it will be related to methodologies and also supporting you in specific areas to develop your research. But also the Graduate Center is a place that hosts also events from other places that use the seminar, and these seminars, they use the seminar room to host the events, and these are also open to everybody. Please do register with the Graduate Center so that you will get all the information. We also send the information to the schools and departments, and they circulate. So you'll start seeing more and more what we do.
Okay, thank you very much. We are ready for the breakaway sessions, but I'll just wrap up the questions that we have here. So I'll just read out two, and then I'll take the next ones that are in the chat. So the first one is there a 24-hour library for postgraduate students? And then, okay, you've responded to the next one. Then the next is it possible for postgraduate students to opt for online lecturing only, considering their circumstances, for instance, distance?
I would say that it won't be possible for you to only engage in lectures online. There will be more and more sessions in face-to-face. This will happen this year. Professor Muche, would you like to add anything regarding that?
Yes, please. So, while I understand and appreciate the kinds of challenges that are being raised here, the stance of the university, after 2 years of going through lockdown due to the pandemic, and having to offer classes online, as from this semester, the stance of the university is that we're going to try very, very much to go back to classes. This university is a contact university, and I think that's the bottom line. It's a contact university. We cannot afford to continue to do things online. However, having said that, we are still under lockdown conditions, however much they've been relaxed. So in most cases, you will find that because postgraduate classes are generally smaller classes, we are being encouraged to do in-person teaching and learning. And so that is the way it is at the moment. But things may vary from class to class, so that you might find some of your classes are actually being held online. But in a majority of cases, it's certainly going to be, in person. But at the same time, should we have, for example, the much talked about fifth wave of the pandemic, we are likely to immediately switch back to online teaching. So teaching and learning is not going to stop, but we are being encouraged to be on campus, especially for postgraduate students. The situation is different for large classes, large undergraduate classes. So I hope that information is useful to you. But what should always happen is, for every postgraduate student who is here, please be in touch with your lecturers, especially if you're doing coursework. That's where you get the nitty-gritty information that you need. Please be in constant touch with your supervisors. I did write in the chat that your supervisors are your first port of call, and everything else follows. So please talk to them. The majority of our staff, in fact, all our staff are very understanding. They appreciate the different and diverse backgrounds that we all come from. They appreciate that we all go through, challenges, and we don't want those challenges to go in the way of a successful, from application to graduation process that you have embarked on. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor. So we're now going into the breakaway rooms. I believe the remaining questions have been addressed, but if you feel that it hasn't been addressed adequately, you can ask in the breakaway room.